Arco TV, may I help you?
Hey, is this James?
Who's calling?
Hey, James. My name's Jack. You spoke with my employee Mary a bit earlier this morning about one of your properties on Tulsa Street.
Yeah, uh-huh.
Yeah, how are you doing today, sir?
Well, pretty good, and you?
Great. I'm doing okay. Thanks for asking. I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just spoke with Mary, and she kind of ran through the numbers and your guys' discussion that you had earlier. And we buy a decent amount of properties. We're actually buying 10 this month in Lubbock. And I've bought a handful in Wichita Falls before. We buy as is, we buy fixer uppers, really in any condition, and definitely really interested in this one. I know you had just spoken with her recently about it, but she just to catch me up to speed, she said you were looking for something around 18,000 for it. It is currently tenant occupied. They're paying $600 a month. They have a yearly lease, and there is some plumbing issues going on right now with the house. Is that all correct?
That is correct. That is correct.
Okay. And yeah, in terms of besides the plumbing stuff, what is there anything else going on with the house? Is it rent ready, pretty livable, good condition, or does it need other repairs?
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. It's a 3-bedroom. It's sitting on a hill. It's got a little lean to it, but it's nothing dangerous. It is a 3-bedroom, central heat only, not central air, but it's central heat.
Okay.
With a pretty good sized backyard, but it's sitting on a hill. They pay $600 a month, and they usually are late, but they always pay. In fact, he's late now, but they are usually always pay. But I'm selling some of my properties because I'm a Vietnam vet, and I was over there with Agent Orange, and I've already had open heart surgery, and I'm 60% now, applying for 100%. Because I passed out, was having chest pains in November, and they didn't get to me quick enough, and I wound up passing out in my house and had to go to the emergency room. So now I've applied for 100%, but I have about 30 houses, and I've been doing this for about 45 years, and I'll be 75 next month, so I'm going to have to slow down.
Wow. Well, I'm sorry to hear that about your health, James, and I really appreciate you for your service. My grandfather was a Vietnam vet as well, so I really appreciate that.
Thank you.
Yeah, and
but they to be honest with you, they do pay late sometimes.
Okay. And I'm wondering too, then, because like I said, we do buy a decent amount of properties. I'm wondering too, like other ones. I know we're focusing on this one right now, but if you're looking to sell other ones too, that's something we could also definitely discuss as well. How many properties were you potentially looking to sell?
Well, I've already sold 4, and I got 4 on contract to sell on I believe it's on the 15th. It may be a little bit before them, and those are some of my high dollar houses. They're $100,000 houses, pretty good shape. Got a buyer out of Plano. In fact, I just got off the phone with him not long ago, and we're supposed to close. I got a 2-story that's 6-bedroom, 3 bathrooms, one of my better houses. Then I got one on Gunnison, which is 3-bedroom, central heat and urban, nice brick home. These are all brick homes, pretty nice areas. And so I'm getting quite a bit of money out of those, but they're some of my better stuff. But I'm going to, once I sell those, and I got one on contract with a guy out of Dallas, and I got the 4 with a guy out of Plano. And I'm going to sell those, and I'll be down to about 20, and then I'm going to stop and assess what my financial condition is, whether I want to sell some more or whether I want to hold up right where I'll be. So I'm not in dire need. I'm pretty well financially off. I don't need to sell them, but I just can't. I like doing my own work, and I supervise all of my people. But I'm just not going to be able to do any heavy lifting or anything. And they got me right now. The VA's got me where I can't lift more than a quart of milk.
Gotcha.
And I don't know whether I can live like that very long, but because I'm used to being a workaholic, that's what all my family members call me. But I'm going to have to slow down, and I told my pastor that I was going to do that, so I am going to slow down some.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, and this property here, then, this is this is one of them that you really would like to sell then?
I really hadn't thought about it, to be honest with you, because like I say, I was going to sell the two bundles of four and then one individual house, and I was going to just assess where I am at that point financially, and I'm pretty sure. I don't know whether I'll go any further. To be honest with you, I don't know whether I'll sell any more or not, because I'll make quite a bit on this last sale with the four. We're looking at almost $300,000 in houses.
Oh, that's great.
So that will get me totally out of debt and leave me with quite a bit of access. And then I'm applying for 100% through the VA, and the way they're talking, it's pretty much a done deal. I just got to put the paperwork in. So I'll just assess my situation after that with my family, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, that sounds good. So I'm wondering then, with this house, I know you told Mary that you were looking to fix the plumbing before selling and things like that. But
yeah, well, this is one thing I try to do when they're paying their rent, and I tell somebody something. I try to always do what I say I'm going to do, because I can't be a good example if I don't treat them the way I ask them to treat me. And I told them I was going to fix it, and I would appreciate it if you do buy it, you let me go ahead and fix it.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's super nice of you. That's really great character there. Yeah, and I mean, in terms of this property, so you're the sole owner of the property.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And
I have bank financing, and I've been with them for 40 years, so get pretty much anything I want. But I got three I'm still going to buy, because I started in the process of these before all this happened. So I got three more houses I'm going to buy, but they're pretty good houses and they're bargains. So
gotcha.
I'll buy those and fix those up and just see where I am after that.
Gotcha. And I'm curious now. One of my good partners, friends of mine, we bought one in Wichita Falls a couple months ago. Like right now we're mainly buying more in like Odessa and Lubbock. But I'm wondering, in terms of if we were coming in all cash, and I know you said you would want to take care of plumbing, but if we came in and bought all cash, it sounds like, of course, you're an investor. You have a lot of properties, and you've dealt with investors who've been buying them off you. If we can do a quick close on your time frame, come in all cash, cover closing costs, what would be that sort of like bottom dollar price you'd take for the house if we just came in quick sale, all cash?
Is that with me fixing it and going
on? Like I said, we're totally fine with buying as is, and we can take care of the plumbing. But we would totally do that. We can totally do that. Of course, that would adjust the price, though.
Yeah. Well, if you handle the plumbing, I'd probably go down to 16, because that's probably what it would. If I do it, I can do it for cheaper than that. But if I had to pay somebody, it'd probably cost me a couple $1,000s to fix it.
Okay, gotcha. And say if we were, and I'm curious then, James, do you have pictures of the interior of this property by chance? Anything that's somewhat recent?
No, I don't. And this was one of them I bought, kind of like you, sight unseen.
Yeah.
And I went in and had to replace the refrigerator, the stove, put new flooring in the kitchen. I think we put new flooring in 2 bedrooms and the living room.
Yeah.
Fixed some windows. And because it was a 3-bedroom with central heat, now those kind of houses are going, you can rent those quick. Especially if they got central heat in there. If you could put a good paint job, good flooring, and good walls with central heat in there, they just stay rented when they like that.
Yeah. Yeah, very true. And in terms of kind of the area and the neighborhood this one's in, what is it? Is it a pretty good area? Is it not in the greatest area of town, or what's kind of
Well, it's actually within a police training center. It was within 3 blocks of a police training center. It's within 2 blocks, or 1 block of a nice little apartment complex. It's about about a half mile from a junior high school, a major road to, yeah, it's and the YMCA is down the street from it. It's not a bad neighborhood. It's just that that old house is sitting on a hill, and you have to go up the steps. And sometimes, if you're not in too good a shape, steps are not too good for you.
Yeah, but no kind of major foundation issues with the house. Then you said it's just on a hill.
No, just on a hill. It's leaning a little bit, but not enough. I had two contracts go over there and look at it, and they said the way it is, it'd probably be fine for the next 20 years, but might be something that'd have to be done after that. But I won't be here that long, so I won't have to worry about it.
Gotcha. And with that property then too, so it seems like the only thing, it's rented out currently. We could totally take over with the tenants in there. It would just be the plumbing that you think would have to be tended to right now.
As far as I know, I went in there in the front room. She invited me. I can't remember. I think she called me over for some rent about a month or two ago, and I noticed the front door, one of the trims on the front door. When you go in the kitchen, I noticed it was missing. But the last time I went in, that living room was great. They had it all, had pictures all on the wall. They had it color coordinated. And I was really surprised at the way it looked on the inside. They'd really done some work in there.
That's great.
But
yeah,
I would look here. Like I said, it was 2 months ago. Now I do know he went to jail for something, and how he got out so quick. I guess maybe he wasn't guilty, but he told me the police was looking for him, and he said he was going to turn himself in. So I guess he did, and I guess they didn't hold him very long because he was out in about a day or so.
Yeah.
But one thing I like about this guy, he is upfront with me. If he can't pay rent or he's having trouble, he comes to me, he tells me, and then we try to work it out. And I appreciate, because not every tenant you got would do that.
That's very true. Yeah, some tenants.
So those kind I usually work with them when they get behind. And like I say, he's a little bit behind now, and I don't try to lie to anybody, and I just tell you the way it is.
Yeah.
Because that's the way I'd want you to do me. But for some reason, and be honest with you, I do take pictures in most of my, and I don't know why I didn't take pictures of that one.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm thinking here. I mean, I'm looking at it from the street view. It looks in pretty decent shape on the outside.
Well, it's got a decent paint job on the outside. But like I said, 2-3 years ago when they moved in there, I went in there did a paint job on the inside, put a good used ice box and good used stove, and went in there and fixed all the flooring, new flooring in there, and had a good paint job. And that usually if you do that, if they look nice, you can rent those out.
Yeah.
Actually, I haven't had any trouble renting any houses in any area.
Yeah.
As long as they look good and they're nice and they're clean, I don't have it. In fact, I actually got a waiting list, but I'm going to throw that list away because I'm not going to be in it that much longer, and at least not at the rate I am now. I'm going to be slowing down. I have to.
So I don't want you to have to worry about the plumbing and dealing with that and stuff like that, and dealing with those repairs. We usually have a certain amount of properties we try to buy each month. It's the start of the new year. We just got out of the holiday season. This is something that we would be good to go on right now at $16,000. If that's something you'd be wanting to do, I could totally get over a purchase agreement to you, and we could definitely move forward with this.
Well, that's the cheapest 3-bedroom house you'll ever buy, because I've been, like I said, I've been doing this for 40 years, and I know you can't buy a 3-bedroom house that's occupied for that kind of money, and really that's a steal, actually. But like I say, I'm going to scale down, and that'll be okay. But I don't think I'll have anything else that cheap.
Okay. Yeah, that would be great then, and of course with us too, all we would do is just do a walkthrough, get an inspection done, and just seeing what we're working with. But like you said, at that price, that's totally something we'd be comfortable with moving forward with. Because I mean, I bought properties before, like for example in Lubbock, we picked up 10 last month for it was like a pre-foreclosure scenario where
Hmm.
we basically took over these loans, but we only came out of pocket 17 grand, and we got
Okay.
10 houses. But you know, of course, they weren't in great shape. Some had really high interest rates. They weren't cash flowing. But you know, sometimes it
Mm.
depends. Like a couple of these, we're putting so much work into them that we'd actually lose on those properties. But the
Well, over time, it just depends on what kind of shape they're in. Over time,
yeah,
because rent is up now. It's expensive, and people aren't moving like they used to because they know there's not that much out there, and then whatever's out there, you're going to pay a pretty penny for it now.
yeah,
Because rent is very expensive here in Wichita Falls now, even for junk.
yeah,
But
and
I don't have any junk because I'm pretty picky who I let go in my house. I don't just put it. I try to put people in it with kids. Now I try to help the kids out because I was a kid and I love children, and I do a lot of things not because of the parents, but for the kids.
uh-huh.
And this lady has 2 or 3 kids, so I do a lot of things to help people out.
That's really nice of you. Yeah, I try to do the same. I gave people a break for rent last month just because of the holiday season. So
Yeah.
that's great
Well,
that
I
you
got
do that as
one that
well.
was for us 3 months behind. But
Wow.
I told him, I said, you got to come in. Well, I told him, yes, I said, you got to come in and pay something today, and he did. And he apologized and said, well, he came in with a payment plan. I said, okay, this is good. If you stick with this, we'll just keep going.
Yeah.
So I do give him an opportunity to straighten everything out, but I have some that I have to go to the courthouse with, but that's the last step I'll take.
Uh-huh.
And that's the only part of my job that I don't like is when I have to kick somebody out.
Yeah. No, it's super tough
Yeah.
doing that. Yeah. But then at the same time, like you said, you know, if someone hasn't paid rent in months, then it puts, you know, you in a tricky
Yeah.
spot.
Yeah, well, usually on one like that, if I got it paid for, it's not that bad because when you got 30, you can afford to have 3 or 4 that's kind of slow. But if you
Very
only
true.
got 2 or 3, you can't do that.
Yeah. No, that's very true. Um, yeah, and then I'm wondering then, James, what's kind of your time frame on this one, right? Like I said, say if we went under contract today on it, how quick would you like to close?
Well, I'll wait on y'all to decide that. I would just like to get that plumbing fixed for him, and I'm gonna because he hadn't paid for this month yet. But I
Yeah.
would like to get that because he's got kids in there, and I got that later because I was gonna try to get that fixed hopefully this week.
Okay. Yeah, we could get that plumbing fixed up ASAP. This is something
Okay.
that we could close. Usually we shoot for a 30-day close, kind of just the whole process with inspection, due diligence, things like that. That's just our standard. But I mean, something like this, if we did need to be a bit quicker, we could probably do like a 21-day close. Or usually we'll
Yeah,
put on our paperwork 30 days or sooner, on or before 30 days from now. So sometimes we can close way before that. That's just kind of like our guidelines we'd like to have,
right.
just to allow
Well,
a little more flexibility.
yeah, we can stick with the 3 week or whatever.
Okay.
Because I'd like to get his plumbing fixed. I know how it is when you can't go to the bathroom and
Yeah.
toilet's backing up, and sink is backing up, and bathtub is backing up. That's why. But the only thing is, was trying to get a plumber that would be available around these holidays,
Yeah.
which is
very
the
true.
biggest problem.
That's very true.
But I'd like to get that fixed for him as soon as possible.
Yeah, we can definitely do that as soon as we close. We could
Okay.
start getting in there and doing that. I'm wondering then too, is this a landline or cell phone? Is this the best phone number for you? Just
Well,
in
this
case.
is. I have a TV shop.
Okay.
This is where you call now. I also repair TVs.
Oh, nice.
So I'm here from 9 to 6 Monday through Friday.
Okay, so this would be the best number for you.
That's correct.
Perfect. And then what's the best email for you, James?
Arco, ARCO,
ARCO.
TV repair at gmail.com.
Okay, Arco TV Repair at gmail.com. And are you familiar with? I'm sure you've used DocuSign and all that before with the
DocuSign,
property.
yeah, I've been doing that for the last 3 months.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah.
Great. Okay. So I'll work on just a really basic purchase agreement here. It's super short. It's like 3 pages long.
Mm-hmm.
And I can get that sent over to you in the next 30 minutes or so, and I'll give you a call once that's sent. And like
Okay.
I said, we can definitely move pretty quick on this one. Take care of the plumbing, and definitely want
Okay.
to make sure you're taken care of, not having to stress and kind of worry about it. And then also the tenants too. I want to get that fixed for them as soon as possible.
Okay, that'll work.
Okay, great, James. Well, I really appreciate the call. You sound like a super nice guy, and I hope and pray that your health and everything is getting
Well,
better. And
that's in God's hand. Whatever He does, that's what I'll have to accept.
yeah. Great, James. Well, I appreciate the time. I look forward to doing business with you here, and I'll give you a call shortly once I send that over.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, take care. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.